Hi everyone, and welcome to Creative Chelsey. If you like this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up or commenting below. If you want to see more of my videos, press the subscribe button and click on the bell for notifications. If you need any Stampin' Up! Products to make these cards, you can visit my online store and the link is in the description box below. When you purchase Stampin' Up! Products through me, you can earn free products. Check out my current customer appreciation products on my blog, and the link is listed below. Today I have for you my last alternative project using the February 2021 paper pumpkin kit called Bouquet of Hope. If you'd like to see some of my other videos or watch me unbox this kit, you can click on the playlist in the top right corner. Each month, I provide my Paper Pumpkin subscribers with an exclusive card kit designed by me. This is the card they will be making with their kit. If you would like to also receive this extra perk, you can sign up to get your own Paper Pumpkin subscription by using the link below in the description box or visiting my blog, creativechelsey.com. So one of the things that I try to do when designing those exclusive kits is find different ways to use the stamp set and the ink that comes in the kit. And so these cards can be made after you've used all the other supplies from that kit. So these are really fun, and the card kit they're going to be receiving will make any of these cards. So we're going to be including this beautiful Just Jade cardstock and a silver foil sheet cut to these sizes, and the Rococo Rose and a copper foil sheet. And then you can choose to emboss it with any embossing folder that you have, or you can leave it blank, or you can stamp on it. There's a lot of choices and versatility within this design. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through how to make this card. Adventure awaits in next month's Paper Pumpkin kit. Here's to you. This kit includes 8 cards, 4 each of 2 designs, plus an added surprise worth celebrating, a set of 4 spectacular stencils, and a Stampin' Sponge. Don't miss it. Subscribe by March 10th using the link below. So today I'm going to be using some different products, but they all will work with the products that in the exclusive kit from me or with any other Stampin' Up! Or crafting supplies that you might have on hand. So you're going to need the stamp set that came in the kit, and we're going to be using this large bouquet of flowers, and then you can choose any of the greetings. You'll need a card base, and I'm just using a thick basic white cardstock, and it's been cut to 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches and scored at 4 1/4. And then you'll need a colored cardstock. And you could use a half sheet of a card base that came from the kit. So this is the Mary Merlot card base that I have left over, so I could use that. Or you could even use one of the pattern envelopes if you have one of those in the full size. And I think that's what I want to use today. I love the polka dot pattern, and so I'm not going to need to emboss it. Then you'll need a piece of foil sheet, and you could use any color. So this is gold. I've used a copper, and I've used the silver. There's also a champagne color, and I think a brass color. So you could use any of those to accent your focal point. And this piece is just a basic white cardstock, and it's been cut to 2 3/4 inches by 4 1/4. And then this one is just 1/8 inch larger. So it's 4 3/8 inches by 2 7/8 inches. So let's go ahead and cut the envelope down to size. The size I'm looking for here is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So it just gives me a little border around my card base. So I'm just trimming off all the white area and then this score line here on the side. And then I'm going to line this up and go to 5 1/4. And then I need 4 inches. So I'm going to rotate this and go to 4 inches. I noticed I have a little bit of white sitting on that corner, so I want to cut that part off. So now I have a nice solid piece. This is Bumblebee, and it's just got that beautiful printed polka dot on it. Now, if I didn't have a printed paper like this one, I would want to use an embossing folder. And I just grabbed some of the embossing folders that I have used on my other cards. I've got this really fun one, the Forever Greenery, and this one's a half one. So what I did is I actually rotated it so that it was horizontal and just embossed one side and then lined it up and embossed the second side. And that's how I got that fun leaf pattern for the back of this Rococo Rose. And then I also used this Tasteful Textile 3D one, and I love how that's just a nice, simple, embossed look for that background of that one. This one's on Old Olive cardstock. And then I also used the Tin Tile embossing folder, and I got that beautiful raised tin tile look for the back. And this one's on Just Jade. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave this one as is, and I can just go ahead and apply it to my card base. So I folded it in half along that score line, and then I'm going to add my pattern paper. I'm doing that with the Stampin' Seal Plus, and it's just going to have a nice little border around. Not super thin, it's about 1/8 of an inch all the way around, like that. And then we're going to do our stamping. So go ahead and get your basic white cardstock. And I want this one to be a horizontal card. I just wanted to give you one more idea on how you could use that stamp set. So I'll just show you really quickly. You can stamp just the top of that bouquet on the top and bottom, and then place your greeting in the center. You could stamp your bouquet on either the right or the left side, and then do your greeting in the open space there. Or you could stamp right in the middle and then place your greeting at the bottom. So for this one, I want to stamp along the top and bottom, but we're going to have to do a double stamp to fill up that space. And then I'm going to ink it with the Mossy Meadow. And I'm just going to ink this top area of my bouquet. And there are so many different ways that you could stamp this. And so be creative and have fun, and don't feel like you can only do it one certain way. All right, so I've got my first image down. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a second one on the left or the right side. Just lining it up. I'm kind of looking for just kind of an opening to squeeze those flowers in. It's a little bit higher than the one on the left, and that's okay. You know, I think I'm actually just going to leave it on the bottom, and then I'll put my greeting here at the top. If I put another row at the top, it might not give me enough space for my greeting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my greeting, and it's the "I'll always be here for you." I'm just going to pick that up and then stamp that in Mossy Meadow, just near the top. Actually, kind of in the middle of that white space. So maybe somewhere like that. That's turning out really pretty. And then we can stamp our other greeting. I liked this little sentiment here that says, "Sharing in your sorrow and thinking of you and wishing I could be there to hold your hand." And I was thinking of stamping that here inside my card, just as a little message. Okay, so I've just inked that up, and then finding the center and stamping that on the inside. Okay, and so then you could write a little personal message below that and sign your name. Okay, so now we're going to color our bouquet. And there's just a lot of different ways you can color these bouquets. And so on each of these cards, I have done it just a little bit different. So for this pretty card, I used the watercolor colored pencils from Stampin' Up. You could even just use regular colored pencils. And then on this card, I watercolored it using the water painters and then some different colors to coordinate with the card. For this one, I used the Stampin' Up! Blend markers. And then on this one, I used the blender pen. And this is a different alternative that I did. And you can again see that in the playlist by clicking on the link in the top right corner. One of my favorite coloring tools are the blender pens. And so I'm going to go ahead and use those again today. And I've just pulled out different colors that I think would go well together and will go well with that background color. So I have Granny Apple Green, and they come in a light and dark color, which is one of the reasons I like them so much. So I'm going to use this for all the leaves. And I'm just going to color them in, starting with the light color. And then if I want to go back and add a little bit of shadow with that dark Granny Apple Green, I can do that as well. I think I'm going to use the fine tip point for this, just so I have a little bit more control over where that color goes. So I'll just speed this up while I'm coloring. All right, so there's the first bouquet, and you can see that I've added the darker color, and then I went back with the lighter Granny Apple Green and just kind of blended it out a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the second bouquet. Okay, so both of those bouquets have all the leaves colored. Now I'm going to go with the larger flowers, and I want those to coordinate well with the bumblebee. Now there's no bumblebee Stampin' Up! Blend marker. They have most of the colors, but there's a couple that they don't have. So I'm going to be using the Mango Melody blends, and they do have kind of that yellow-orange look, so I think it will go well. And I'm going to do the large roses in that color. So I'm going to do this the same way as I did the leaves, and I'm going to start with the light Mango Melody, and I'm just going to fill in the whole flower. And then I'll go back with the dark and add just a little bit of depth with some shadows. Okay, so there's those little roses. I'm going to do the exact same thing here for the second bouquet. Okay, so that's all done. I do want to bring in a little bit of pink, so I'm going to be using the Rococo Rose, and I'm just going to start with the light, and I'm going to do just kind of randomly pick some of these little flowers. Okay, so I've got those done. I do want to add the center with the darker Rococo Rose, just to give it a little bit of depth inside that flower. Okay, so there's the pretty pink flowers. I wanted to add some blue, but I'm thinking that this Misty Moonlight that I picked up is a little dark. So I'm gonna go switch this out for a lighter blue. So I grabbed my Seaside Spray, and I'm gonna add the darker color to the rest of these flowers, just to give a little touch of blue in here. And then I'll use the lighter color for some other flowers too. Okay, so those are all done. So now we can add this to our card. We'll place the gold foil sheet behind it and just place it on there with some adhesive. And this is just going to give us a nice thin border. It should be about 1/16 of an inch all the way around. And then we'll add this to our card base with some dimensionals. And that just goes right in the center. There, our card is all done. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the different ways that you can use this layout to create some beautiful cards today. If you're interested in seeing written instructions or close-up images of these cards, you can visit my blog, creativechelsey.com. If you'd like to sign up for your own paper pumpkin subscription, you can visit the link in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye.